Welcome to the quietest ones in the room with your host, Trey. I gotta say it, just the mere fact that you have clicked onto this video and you're listening to the sound of my voice, you by far are the most intelligent people on the face of the planet. So once again, thank you for joining me. I'm still slightly under the weather due to pollen season, so I'm still not 100%. I'll get there though. But that's not going to stop me from coming to you and talking about the things that are on my mind. And this one's really important. This is about an article I read from Bloomberg that came out as I'm looking at it 13 hours ago. And I want to read this headline to you. Half of American households hold 97.5% of the national wealth. I'll repeat, half of American households hold 97.5% of the national wealth. This article says the richest half of American families owned about 97.5% of national wealth as of the end of 2024, while the bottom half held 2.5%. And I know you could do the math, but you got it. Look, we're in a new year, 2025, obviously. We're 3 months into this thing, going into 4 months. Maybe you're in the top 50%. Maybe you're in the bottom 50%. Let's talk about if you're in the bottom 50%. And you voted for public officials to do what's in your best interest. Do you believe that after the end of 2024, that you started or that it's starting to turn in your favor? Have your wages gone up? Has your food gotten cheaper? Has your energy gotten cheaper? Are you less stressed in your life? Are you moving on the up and up in this country? See, it's been understood for some time that wealth finds its way over and over again to trickle up. And you may ask yourself, well, how in the world does the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poor? I'll just use one example. Let's talk about COVID. When COVID occurred, the lockdowns happened, and it was pandemonium. People didn't know what was going on in the world. Government said, we need to shut the economy down. And we saw massive amounts of money printing by the Federal Reserve. So think about that. All that money the Federal Reserve printed went into the hands of some of the working class citizens. Some of it went into corporate entities. And let's think about how if you're a part of that bottom 50%, at that time you were getting stimulus checks. You might have been able to get an SBA loan, a PPP loan. You might have even gotten a little bit of a pay increase because money was flowing everywhere. I mean, at that time, it was a common joke that everyone at least had $1,000 or more in their savings account. And it was lovely. People were buying houses, cars, clubbing, popping bottles, all these different, taking trips abroad, specifically after COVID. And now that same population in that bottom 50%, that money is dried up. If you didn't take that as an opportunity to do something like purchase a home or invest into something, you have missed the ship for some time. And let's look at the reality. The reality is that now that the money has dried up in the bottom 50%, and this article, I'll put it in the links below maybe, or you can just Google it and look into it yourself. But the point is that now that the money has dried up, what next? What is there to do? So I'm a bit of a historian, and I like to take deep dives into the ebbs and flows of money. And I'll say this, I'm not a rich guy. I'm a regular individual that has happened to start businesses along my lifetime. I've worked in corporate America. I'm educated. I've got a bachelor's in cognitive psychology and I got a master's in business. But I know people that even though they've been just as successful as me, they don't have much to themselves. They don't have wealth. I've been personally, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and I've been pursuing the idea of being rich since I was a kid. Since I was a kid. And where I'm at in my life right now, I'm pretty happy about it. But everyone can't say that. Everyone can't say that, hey, I'm very pleased with where my life ended up, even though I didn't make the millions or billions that I thought I was going to make. The dream that they were sold. So I just wanted to interject that really quick to say, I understand. I am a regular person too. And let's get back to it. So there's an ebb and flow of how money in this country works. You have massive fallout, whether it was the housing market crash, the stock market crash, 9/11, when the airline industry crashed, over and over. And as I mentioned, COVID, when the government shut down our economy and there was that crash. Every time this occurs, there's some form of a bailout. And that bailout, those monies are paid to a particular group of individuals who use it to their advantage over and over again. See, during COVID, it was, yes, citizens received money, but so did corporations. And corporations were able to pay their employees more. Their employees were able to then take those monies and splurge, buy the cars they always wanted, purchase the items they always wanted. And so that money inevitably floated and drove its way fast right back to the rich, the wealthy. See, it's circular. So even when the bottom 50%, as this article points out, even when the bottom 50% gets money, because the cost of living goes up, inflation, the money being in the bank account, in hand, eventually goes right back to the rich, the landlord who hike up their rental property, the auto manufacturers who hike up the vehicle costs, your service industry who hike up their fees on their apps. And then all that the bottom 50% is left with is hand in face saying, what in the hell happened? Yes, life was purposefully made difficult to extract that money from you so they could hoard it at the top. And so let me read some more of this article. It says, the lower 50% of the distribution saw their wealth share improve marginally during President Joe Biden's term in office, climbing from 2.2% to now 2.5%. Think about that. So the 66.6 million households in that group collectively owned about 4 trillion in net worth at the end of last year, which is an increase of 1.25 trillion from 4 years earlier. Listen to me. That ain't shit, obviously. And what we do have to understand about that number is there are demographics involved here. There's a lot of black folks in that number, a lot of Hispanics in that number, a lot of natives in that number, a lot of poor white people in that number. Sometimes you know, as a regular person, I get in my vehicle and I'm driving around and I live in rural suburbia, and I see Rivians, Cybertrucks, big houses, at least 5,000, 6,000 square foot homes or more. And I'm thinking to myself, where in the world did people get this money? This is a while back. And you realize that, oh, they already had the wealth. Mommy, daddy, grandma, granddad. The wealth has just been hoarded and passed down through the generations. And the bottom 50% is left hoping for the dream to be able to pass down some wealth. Matter of fact, just to be able to take care of basic life now. If you're single, no family. And if you have a family, it's like, damn, what the hell is going on if it's all on you and your spouse? So again, we're 3 months into this thing with the Trump administration. Do you feel it bubbling up? Do you feel like, hey, give it just a little bit longer? Or do you already feel the benefits of the Trump administration? Is there more money in your pockets? Bottom 50%, top 50%. I know some of you. Yeah, I know some of you. And you think everything is straight. Everything is okay. No problems are on the horizon. Some of you in the top 50% don't have enough. And it would be nothing for you to slide right into the new bottom margin. Very easy. Let's read a little bit more of this article. It says the top 0.1% expanded their share of total wealth to a record 13.8% as of year end 2024, up from 13% in the same period of 2020. Oh, so they say things like, you know, money makes money. No, the way that it works is bailout make people more money. The Federal Reserve, when it prints money and it goes to the lesser than, it eventually trickles right to the rich because the rich own Amazon. The rich own Tesla. The rich own Walmart. The rich own the houses that are being built everywhere. The banks. Those mutual funds, all these things that you put your money into and spend your money on, guess who owns those things? The rich. So of course, even that trillion, 1.5 trillion under the Biden administration for the bottom 50%, do you know how easily that 1.5 trillion could just be ripped out of the bottom 50%? Let the price of eggs go up more. Let the gas prices go up more. Let the rents go up more. Let your Amazon packages cost more to come to you. Gone. 1.5 gone. Lose your job, gone. So it says overall the wealth gains at the top end of the distribution during the period were accompanied by a decrease in debt levels, with the top 1% of households managing to pay down their net mortgage debt. Yeah, you have people who say things like, if you have a mortgage, don't just pay the mortgage, pay as much more on top of your monthly mortgage that you can. Another 100, double it up, get that mortgage paid out as quickly as possible. But they have the funds to do that. They have mommy, daddy's money. Some of them have worked hard. They've got incredible jobs, paying them a lot, so they're able to do that. But ask them how they got that down payment to buy that house. Ask them. Ask them who loaned them the money. Meanwhile, families lower down the scale added debt along with assets, including some 800 billion in high interest consumer credit amassed over the 4-year period. And that's what I want to get to. I'm so glad that I read this article because I see what's bubbling up. These pay-as-you-go companies like Affirm, Klarna, so on and so forth, Square, these products that provide loans to regular people, these products that allow you to extend your payments out, that's where the last hustle is to extract as much wealth as possible out of your hands. Do we know that the credit cards are bad and have been bad? And that's part of it too. But this other stuff, this other shit is really eating people alive. And what I want to say about it is this is where I've come to the conclusion that we may be on the horizon of another bailout. Yeah, we should be on we should see soon enough another bailout, maybe of the bottom 50%, because the rich want more money. You think it's enough for them to have the 97.5%? No, they want it all. And so, logically, the only way that they're going to get any more assets and their wealth continues to grow is for everyone to keep playing the game, buying into the system, and eventually some form of a bailout takes place of the regular everyday consumers. And there's a hooping and a hollering and a hooray and a cheering and everybody's so excited, thrilled, elated. And the next thing you know, after all of that money has come into the hands of the bottom 50% and has then again rushed right up to the top, people will be just as upset and more upset than they've ever been. Because how many times can the game be played until people are fed up? So I think we're actually on the precipice of somewhat let's call it the end game. Yeah, we're on the precipice of the end game. This can't keep going on. They know it, we know it. So what's next? Well, they're going to try to alleviate some of the complaints by giving some money away. That money is going to make you so happy. You're going to be able to buy more things. You're going to be able to get those assets. And but just like the housing market crash in 2008, those people who had those homes gone, vanished. Wall Street, gone. Regular people who put their life savings, gone, crashed. Remember GameStop? Remember how that played out for so many people? That's the game. You take your regular, average, everyday person's money and they extract it from you so they can buy their next asset and look better than you because after all, they're smarter. That's what they say. Oh, I'm smarter. Like, I'm way smarter than you. Why should you have anything? And let's not forget that it's not enough to get bailout after bailout and feel good that you're getting some money. Legally, things have to change. We have to get the laws changed so that the rich, the wealthy can be taxed so they're not able to hoard the money and it can trickle back to people who are at the bottom 50%. It needs to be done. We can't have this keep going on. The article closes with saying the games are partly a function, and this is pertaining to, let me read it. Let me go back and say, broken down by age cohorts, the period saw U.S. wealth increasingly accrue to older households. And it's known the baby boomers have been killing it for so long. They're hoarding the wealth right now, but we know that the great wealth transfer is taking place. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google that as well. It's the baby boomers, the silent gen who have amassed wealth. They're holding it and they're looking to leave it to their kids and their kids' kids. Maybe you have some family members maybe you have some family members that are in the boomer generation, and you need to start having conversations with them because once they're gone, and if you didn't get any of that money they got, I don't know what to say. If there ain't no life insurance policies going on, I don't know what to say. But look, I'm not saying any of this for anybody to stress out. But what I am saying this for is for you to understand that the game can't be played over and over and over again. And I know some of you say to yourself, I'm going to make it. I'm going to be in the wealth bracket, the top 50% one day. Maybe, maybe not. But don't bet against yourself. See, they bet against you. They bet against you. Right now, they're betting that you are going to run out of money. And companies like Square are going to come crashing to the ground. They are betting on you to run out of money. So companies like even the Dollar Tree come crashing down. They're betting on you to lose money, run out of money. And they bet against your interest time and time again. All the products you love, all the services you love, they bet against them to fail so they can make money as you run out of money. And that's a life lesson I wish all of us would have understood much younger than later. But anyway, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Please like, please share, subscribe. Once again, thank you for listening. Like I said, I still feel horrible with the allergies, but I'm so grateful nonetheless for another day and for you to take the time to join me in this conversation. And as always, until next time.